Media Group. Sherrie, how are you? And we're going to give the latest updates to Storehouse Media Group. And that is basically, you know what? You have an idea, you can take them all the way. Explain.
Yeah, when people decide they want to write a book, sometimes they just toy with it, stick their toe in the water. But there's some people that come and they have a full-fledged, like, I want a book, I want a class, I want a movie. And so we have grown to the point, we've been around a while to where we can do all that. We've got pretty much every need an author wants. Everybody wants to turn the book into a movie or television screen. Guess what? We have that opportunity now. I've always said, even from the beginning, you could have written the best book in the world, bar none. But if you don't have a marketing plan, it's just going to be a book. So we have that. We have tried proven marketing services. We have the friendly screen. We have, oh my gosh, of course, the publishing, where we're winning publishing and editors and stuff. So we can take you literally from the thought of a book all the way to that screen and everything in between. Or you might have written a book and you need editing, or you've had it edited, you just want it published, or you just want it taken to movie, just want it marketed. We get you, we take you wherever you're at. And you know what we do now? We're like, what is your budget? We're going to work with your budget. Not this is our price, like it or leave it. You tell us how much you feel comfortable, what you can spend, and we're going to work with you and we're going to make that happen.
And I think it's a key component is, based on specifically enough what you're looking for, based on your dreams, because at the end of the day, you can't have all these things that need to be done. It's going to cost you. However, we're going to work with you so you make sure you have the chance. And if that is just connecting you to the right people down the line, that's the chance. And come back to you, Sherrie, when they're ready, because some
That's
people are just
right.
not ready yet.
And you and I, we're big connectors. We connect. Me, I'll meet person, and I'll meet a person and they'll say certain things. I'm like, oh, you really should meet this person. So you just never know. And same thing happens to us. People introduce us. It's just, I guess, we're connectors, we're networkers, and maybe that's all it turns out to be, but have a conversation. And that's where it starts.
Yeah, and once you have that conversation, you never know where it's going.
You don't.
That's because the opportunities that come through connections, through relationships, it could be years till that relationship finally ends up becoming something really big.
True. So true.
And you just don't know when it's going to happen. So you got to constantly do that. And I think the time for a book is so important now because to differentiate yourself from your competition, to start out with a book. Start out with a book, regardless you're an entrepreneur, anything, because a book will differentiate you from your competition. Explain.
It establishes you immediately as the authority in that area. If you write a book, people assume you're an expert in that topic. And guess what? If you weren't before, you will be by the time you write a book because you're going to be researching, you're going to be talking to people. I've known people who have done exceptionally well writing books about topics they had no idea about until they locked themselves in their office for 2 weeks and learned. So, you can do it. If there's something you're interested in and you're like, write a book, study it. But people will look at you as the authority, and you're the expert, you're the go-to expert for whatever topic they want. And it's really a great way for them to get to know you as well. And I tell people, when you write a book, put yourself in there, tell some stories. That way they're going to connect with you and they're going to be more attuned to what you're saying. So, stories are powerful. Give people your story, and you don't know who they'll resonate with. And then you can teach them. And then after that, your words become even more credible.
You just because you never know. And the opportunities are uh endless where you can go.
That's right.
And the power of a book is SEO too. One thing that I people understand is people think of SEO as Google. If you can get discovered on Amazon, that could be your big thing. That book could be nothing for you except people search for it to hire you. and say, oh my gosh, I didn't
That's
know about
right.
this topic. Yeah, it's not going to sell to everybody, but that one person that could find you could land you a huge client, and that's done.
Yeah, you never know. I knew about this woman who wrote a book and she got it published. She never put in the marketplace, but she handed it out, targeted to about 2,000 people. And she ended up getting a lot of big paying consulting jobs because of that book. It is the most powerful business card you can have, bar none. I mean, it's just out there. And so, if you're a podcaster, a book's a great tool to augment it. And anything you do is a great. Could you imagine people coming to you for the first time, walk into your business, and there's your book, and they'll be like, "Oh, they'll look at it like, oh, I'm so glad I came here because this person actually wrote a book." So, a book is tremendously powerful in establishing that, in building business, getting speaking engagements. It just doesn't end. It just has so many, like, it just like spider webs everywhere.
The biggest thing in 2025 for a business that's missing is to have their own personal brand. A business doesn't have a personal brand a lot of times, and they don't want to get themselves out there. The book is the first step to do that. Then
That's
you
right.
can toe the water and other things. But you have a book, you make yourself to differentiate yourself from the competition. If you're a coach, you're an author, but you're also CEOs. CEOs, you need to write a book. And if that
Oh
book's on
yeah.
specific expertise level or something, write that book. And then you got to build a brand. Like I said, with what AI can do now, Sherrie, that you have to differentiate yourself. That everybody's going to be able to do the best looking logo, best looking cover, but once they know and like and trust you, that differentiates you from your competition. And I
It
think,
does. That's
and
the
not
key. Know,
enough.
like, and trust.
Yeah, that's what keeps me growing. That's what keeps you growing because would you want to talk to somebody you know, like, and trust that you see on social media, you see you can go and reach out and touch them, or do you want somebody that's this conglomerate? You can't talk to the CEO, you can't talk to certain people, and you really don't believe and trust that person. The power brand is missing. It's missing, and for businesses, other authors are starting to get there, but they just don't get what that brand brings. It brings something so powerful, unbelievable, just amazing. So,
Branding's huge.
best place people can go is to storehousemediagroup.com. Schedule a call with Sherrie today. And Sherrie, like I said, a book is so important. You have an anthology series you're looking to start. Especially if you have an idea, call Sherrie. Sherrie will make it happen, right?
There you go.
All right.
That's right.
That was a special simulcast.